Welcome back to Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. Last time we started our first main quest, and we also met with the... I forget their name already. The Guys of the Void. Basically a bunch of pirates. And we traded with them in exchange for not killing them. So that happened, and now we're at the Navis Noblite place for the main quest to try to get our astropaths so we can go through the warp safely. Anywho, we have this reading we have to get through, so we'll start right now. A good major domo attempts to nurture only the finest of flowers in the garden that is their master's life. Therefore, new seeds for the garden must be weeded out with the utmost care so that the garden's trees may yield the sweetest fruit. The lessons below will help you separate the precious seeds from the vile thorns to cultivate the perfect garden for any lady navigator. Lesson 1. A faithful servant always makes sure their mistress's room and garments are clean. Lesson 2. A faithful servant will never offer their mistress the same dress presented earlier in the cycle. Lesson 3. A faithful servant offers their mistress a glass of fresh water upon waking. Lesson 4. A faithful servant tastes each dish and every drink before serving it to their mistress. Lesson 5. A faithful servant will have mastered the art of styling their mistress's hair. The total time that 5 servants can spend on arranging their mistress's coiffure should not exceed 3 revolutions of the chronometer. So I guess 3 minutes. Lesson 6. A faithful servant lives for their mistress and gladly gives their life for her as well. Lesson 7. A faithful servant... So we got that.
None shall stand in my way.
Got more stuff for cargo. The lore. Statue by the famous Calixian sculptor and chronicler Zacharias Vernon the Magnificent, the 23rd year of this millennium, original. Okay. Data crypt H40KO.
Halt! I noticed something.
Stop it!
Oh, I didn't want them to do that, but they did it.
If we'd been in real space, I'd have...
Navigator flesh sample.
Idira, stop castigating yourself. Your soothsayings have always been vague. Even if you had her, who among us would have realized that it was Lady Theodora who was in peril?
An expected result.
Cleared the body. So we got a Mars pattern sword, which I think will be better than, what's his name, Abelard's. And noble silk gloves. They gain a bonus to persuasion. That should be probably for me or someone else. Because I'm trying to think of things. Okay, toggle characteristics. Persuasion is definitely me, so I should have these on. Well, I don't know who has the next best tech. Or no, it's a logic? No, it's tech. Tech use. We're all tied besides for me, so I guess I'll just put it on you. Just whatever. And then we got for Abelard. They also all got a wound from that bomb because, you know, they decided to move instead of staying still. Just seeing if he has any new things that are better than that. Your sword. It does 3 more max damage and 5 more armor penetration. More parry. So the only difference is chain weapons deal plus 25% more crit, but this does more damage overall, more armor penetration, less dodge reduction. Or more dodge reduction, I mean. So I think it's just better overall for you. I don't know if anybody else has a melee weapon. I think it's just him. I'll keep it for now, though. I will compare the las gun to this one. Overall, that one's better. I will equip that for my secondary, though. I'm pretty sure this is not better than Negotiator. Yeah. So I'll just keep it.
Victory awaits!
Let me see what their wounds are doing to them. Yeah, so an injury received from a trap, if not removed with a medikit, it will turn into an old injury. Too many injuries reduce the character's resolve and causes traumas. How many medkits do I have? I got 2. Plus I think 2 on Abelard. Yeah, and 1 on you. So I'd have 2 left over, but I don't think it's worth it. Let's just blow it up.
Better myself through my service.
Need to investigate.
Okay, there's a trap in there.
The Emperor favors me
A
today.
new challenge for me?
Ooh. Got jewelry. Nope. Did you hear the screams? Move. Sir, are you alright? We can't hear anything. Now I see. You are in league with them. Is this an insurrection? Yes, indeed. Death to the traitors. Sir, what are you doing? Get a hold of yourself, sir. I know you were all traitors. Traitors, all of you. They told me, they whispered, "Hey, who are you?" Sorry, man. Data crypt H41 OK.
I won't tolerate weakness. I rise to the occasion. Excellence matters.
Good. Getting tons of stuff. A long las. So, sniper rifle. That might be good actually for my offhand. Carapace chest plate. I get a 20% of armor. This is better than I have. And 2 fire grenades. So I need to put this on, and I need to put this on for that. And I think I'll put 2 fire grenades ready for there, or one of each anyway. And then $25 says this better. No, yours is better. What about Adira? 15, same thing. Or should I have this? I want more dodge for her. So I think I'll new mesh carapace. There you go. What was I? There you go. Add to cargo. Add to cargo. Okay.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Research notes of Navis Laboratorum Custodian Fortuna Arcelia, Part 13. Keeper Theobald graciously agreed to provide samples of his skin growths so we could study the influence of the rebellious immaterium on the flesh of the Navis Nobilite. Just as we thought, navigators are positively resistant to the restless currents of the warp. The God Emperor truly does shield some people against corruption and misery. But let us get back to the study of mortal flesh. Another servant will be carried in shortly. I must ready the oxygen or the organ extraction equipment. Adamantine dust and black water. This was the worst idea that could have entered my mind. God Emperor be praised. I am lucky to still have my head on my shoulders after this reckless experiment. Nevertheless, we did make an important discovery. The adamantine seems to protect the frail flesh of the lowborn to a degree. Having said that, not even a macerator can handle its temper. So we should probably introduce a more complex compound into the formula. All the data related to the experiment will be recorded onto data crypt K040. I will get back to them later once I am done with experiment H41OK. Have I mentioned that the chunk of meteorite found by Keeper Felix's subjects is completely useless, although its shining granules could be used to make new paints for the child? Yes, I think I'm going to do that exactly.
It's about time.
For some reason, the arch enemy's twisted influence has found its way into the station. Oof. Uv has had his tongue cut off just like the rest of the lesser servants of House Orcelio. Dang. The conjugator's vid screens is covered in cracks and stained with blood. The buttons, switches, and levers were ripped out of the control panel with exceptional cruelty and scattered around the sacred mechanism that now sparks and hisses in agony, still refusing to perish. Awaken it. You turn a few remaining dials and pull the activation lever. The cracked vid screen of the sacred engine flickers. The conjugators inside emit creaks and groans, and the lumens oscillate at random. It takes a while, but eventually the machine spirits do grant you access to the conjugator systems. Request data on the station's navigators. After a brief pause, the data appears on the screen. Felic Orselio is in the main hall alive. Theobald Orselio is in the upper chambers alive. Calomira Orselio is in the upper chambers but is dead. Alexius Orselio is in the lower levels dead. And Rasmus Estevan Orselio is unknown but dead. The child, location, upper chambers, biometric parameters, rapid heartbeat, elevated body temperature, stress level exceeds the permissible limit. Unknown error. Attention, calming procedures advised. Attention, upper chambers inaccessible. The control rod is not present. If the rod has been misplaced, immediately contact the station keeper or the Navis Laboratorum custodian. Examine the log. View Vox Report 12A890. This is Officer A282. Do you copy? Several generators overheated on the lower levels. Chambers A to D are unpowered. The tech priest crew sent to investigate the problem is not responding. Requesting backup. Officer H123 speaking. 200 servants have perished due to explosive decompression of the living quarters. We've located traces of mechanical interference. The preliminary cause is officer sabotage. Crews 5, 6, and 9 are cut off from the main compartment. We have enough oxygen for 20 minutes. May the Emperor save our souls. Senior station officers, this is the captain speaking. We attempted to contact the Winter Scale Scion for help, but something is jamming the signal. We never received a reply and cannot be sure if it was even sent in the first place. A rescue team is not coming. We are on our own, so remain vigilant. Anyone could be a traitor. You hear me? Anyone. If you are in doubt, shoot to kill. Examine entries of the incident log. The servants close to the child have started butchering one another again. An order came from above to have their remains reprocessed. The negotiations with the Winter Scales were a success. A new batch of servants will arrive in 10 moons. Escort them to the laboratory at once. It is imperative that we increase the new retainer's resistance to the child's powers. Data expunged. Identity confirmed. Regent Aranto Orselio. Data visit classified. Reason for visit classified. Date of departure classified. Security and life support logs. Warning, damage in technical compartments A12, B3, D8, and H24 detected. Warning, living quarters L10, L16, L28 depressurized. Warning, unable to access the station's docking system. Warning, energy regulation system unknown error. The station will transfer over to emergency power. Immediate evacuation of the facility is advised. Warning. Encrypted data. Required access level, security captain or above. Current access level, senior security officer. I'll break through. I have a 95% chance. Nice. Easily bypass the restrictions imposed on the sacred machine. The conjugator's overloaded processors were unhappily. Most of the data has been wiped. You find traces of the purge protocol. Recovery is impossible, but a list of the most recent commands have been embedded in the machine spirit's consciousness. Now flits across the screen in a single creeping line. Child delete picked flow, disable access code, annual station controls, delete, activate shuttle self-destruct, purge command log. Exploring the archives for a while longer yields surviving excerpt from the guard captain's report mentioning that the security system had recently been reconfigured without his knowledge. Only the keepers of the station have access to the life support systems, but Keeper Theobald has not left the child's side, and neither had I. Could it be that... ... Call Rykad Minors for help. The system cannot carry out your command despite the eager compliance of the machine spirits. One thing is certain, the problem does not lie in the conjugator's mechanisms. Switch to main chamber controls. The cogs within the sacred mechanism slowly start turning, with heavy grinding and clacking. The tired machine spirits grant you access to station control, or at least its parts that still obey the conjugator. Open all doors on the level. The conjugator's vid screen goes dark as if the machine spirits had fled their mechanical casket, but your assumption is incorrect, as it fills with static just a few moments later. You can barely make out an inscription amidst the flow of rapidly changing symbols. Warning, data corrupted, processing error. 0110 is required. So you got 01. It's not these. Okay, I didn't know if you had to repeat it. That one? It takes a few moments to gather the data. According to... It's already been opened. I'm just gonna open all the doors. Passage is open. That door's open. Alright, main elevator controls. Activate the elevator. Step away.
Follow my lead.
I need to find a way to turn that off if I can. Warp Seer's goggles. It doesn't even look like it does anything. I'll see you. Grants plus willpower bonus lore for the warp. I think, yeah, so far you have that. So I'll do that for you. It's something. Too many voices, I can hear their rage. The door is open. Come and avenge us, they say.
None shall stand in my way.
K040. The caustic stench of reagents sears your nostrils, and broken glass crunches underfoot. Somebody wanted to destroy the laboratory or find something.
What is that?
That seems like There's no way that's not something, right? I guess I didn't have a choice. Okay. That seemed special. Biogel. Black water, a purified sample of ocean water, or ocean world OM42K003, and acid.
A new challenge for me.
Psi crystal. And a flesh sample. That seems like it's from a regular human. Okay, so there's more. What's this say? Synthetic amniotic fluid pools across the floor. Barely discernible traces stretch to the side opposite the entrance. So someone was in there then? More notes, okay. More and more of the servants are being influenced by the immaterium, and it has nothing to do with the child's more frequent tantrums. We've discovered that the corrupted flesh of the mutated reacts most unusually to the crystals we purchased from the Winter Scale Dynasty. I strongly recommend finely grinding the reagent to catalyze the reaction. Do not use the acid under any circumstances. Trust me, you will not like having to tend to the burns for the next dozen turns in a row. This calls for something more basic. Oh, and one more thing. The tech priest blessed the data crypt H41OK for the calculated number of chrono turns, which means it is no longer necessary to remain near the device while waiting for the reaction to start. The data crypt H40 or KO malfunctioned over the course of our research. I should remind the Technomats to deliver this sacred mechanism into Magos Deoctis's capable hands.
Victory awaits.
One second. More journals. Experimental section, the child's influence on the psycho-emotional state of various representatives of the Imperium, access level, or Celio T prime. Experiment H45451. Subgroup low-born male. Test subjects exhibit signs of acute stress. The majority perished of blood loss within a day of being placed in the laboratory chamber due to the inability to halt the discharge of ocular secretion or tears, and the body's subsequent replacement of these secretions with the connective tissue of its internal environment. The individuals with the greatest resistance to the sacred child's resonance died several chrono turns later. Extensive wounds in the abdomen, presumably inflicted by a jagged piece of metal. Death was caused by strangulation with the subject's own intestines. The subject's final shouts exhibited concerns over abominable tentacles and void worms, hallucinations prescribed to their own internal organs. Experiment 2. Subgroup was a low-born female. Okay. The subjects died within an hour of entering the laboratory adjacent to the child's chambers. Most of their tongues bitten off or their jaws badly dislocated. Some test subjects lacked the physical strength to separate it from the rest of the skull. Cause of death, severe head injuries caused by impacting the walls or the floor. Experiment 3, subgroup, a paralyzed patient who lost the ability to speak due to the shock caused by a manufactorum accident, male. The test subject noted a tingling sensation in the deteriorated tissue during Regent Eratoro's Aranto, I think that's how you say it, Aranto, Orselio's visit to the child. The test subject smiled and started humming, the most likely trying to carry some plebeian tune, and then attempted to address the servant who brought him food. A lengthy conversation was prohibitive due to the servant's lack of a tongue. 4. Subgroup, a defective offspring of Lord P. Orselio, pronounced unfit for studying the high art of navigation owing to the mutation of tissues required for installation of the obligatory augmentations that merge one's consciousness with the vessel. Additionally, they display an overall feebleness of mind. Female. The test subjects mirrored the child's actions for 3 days. On the 4th day, the child became upset after hearing the news of the untimely demise of Amos Cantarelli, an officer of her personal guard. As a result, one of the test subjects peeled away several layers of tissue from her face and died from the resulting massive heart attack. The last surviving test subject was executed for attempting to contact the child.
It's about time.
Adamantine. They all just lost their minds. Please don't kill me. Okay. So, I don't have anything for the reagent, I guess. Okay, I made that. So from what the book said, we can make something here, I think. This is a puzzle. We cannot use acid. KO we cannot use. And this said to use and do not use the meteorite. Adamantine helps the mutated reacts with crystals. Grind the reagent to catalyze the reaction.
I won't tolerate weakness.
So for the mutated, grind that into it.
Something of interest.
Crystal dust, yes. Said use that as the catalyst. I don't know why I can't turn my camera. And then it said do not use black water. Okay, where is it? It says do not use KO. Okay. the mutated, the crystals. Do not use acid. Something more basic.
None shall stand in my way.
There you go. Okay. Let me just double check. I want to make sure I don't get this wrong. Okay. Does it say about okay here? Doesn't say. Okay, that catalyst, it says something more basic. Do not use acid. So either biogel or water. I mean, that's basic. Biogel.
Halt! I noticed something.
Adaptive antidote. There you go. Grants immunity to toxic damage and inflicts a -10 penalty to toughness until the end of combat. Okay. Then the other thing said... Do not use adamantine dust and black water. Sorry, I have bad memory sometimes. It's the worst idea I've entered. Adamantine frail flesh.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
This is for O, I think. Adamantine dust and black water. It's on O. Seems like I gotta grind this down to dust.
A new challenge for me?
Adamantine dust. And do not use black water. So I'll use the acid. Even though it said not to, but I guess I'll do it.
We need to investigate.
Elixir of warp neutrality. Okay. Grants immunity to warp damage and inflicts a -10 penalty to fellowship, but the user cannot deal warp damage until end of combat. That's pretty good though. And then the last thing I could try, I think I'll blow it up, but we can try it. I blew it up. Okay. Well, I tried. There's still gotta be a way to save these guys, right?
It's about time.
Just double checking, because I thought I saved those guys from that, but...
Nothing's impossible for this old officer. Experience. Nothing
Unless
matters
there's a
more.
way to jump down there. Because there was something saying go downstairs for, like, some of the people missing. But I guess I can't. Never mind.
Compared to naval service, that was barely a challenge.
I won't tolerate weakness.
He looks a little better. You dealt with the threat and the powered the elevator. Well done. I trust you brought the activation rod as well. Remember, every second of hesitation may cost my mistress her life. The crossroads. There are two paths, both stained with blood, both leading to the accursed eye. They all wear masks, so poor and flimsy. They fall at the slightest touch, one hiding a blind man, another a traitor. Who is who? Who do you see behind the masks? My whisperers are giggling nastily. They will not speak, the naughty little things. They say that tearing off the masks is your concern. Tell me more. What paths? I cannot say. One is paved with blind faith, the other with hatred and treachery. Both lead to tragedy. You simply have to decide what kind of tragedy you like the most. Okay. This station has enough problems without your sorcery psyker. Yeah, I have questions. Who is the child you mentioned in the documents and reports found in the station? You meddled with something that you should have left alone. The child is what the station's servants call Lady Cassia, for the commoners' dirty mouths must not sully her name by uttering it. You see, it is not beneficial for all servants to have their vocal organs altered. Some prove to be more useful when they are still able to speak. The madmen I found convinced we were the traitors. Yeah, servants alone cannot be blamed for what happened on the station. Most corpses I discovered were either unarmed or feeble. Did you really think mere servants could plan a coup? The senior officers are just as guilty. Half of my guards butchered one another because they suspected treason. As for the real culprit, the coup was staged by those closest to the mistress. Destroying the shuttle, shutting off the power, and disabling the security systems. Too many things required special access available only to the keeper of the station. As I'm sure you are aware, there were 2 keepers of the station. Your guess is absolutely correct. Theobald Orselio, the demented old man obsessed with Lady Cassia and her power, and also the one to blame for the woes that have befallen Uric 5 in our noble line. I listened to a recording of a private conversation between the station's officers. You were very lenient towards them, purposefully neglecting the security protocols. I was lenient, that is true, and in the end I paid a steep price for it. Just look at the destruction around us. The insurgents have left almost nothing of my home. The madmen I fought were convinced we were the traitors. That's why they were insane. Will you really heed the ramblings of retainers who dared to raise their hand against the scions of a noble bloodline? I saw the security captain's report. Only the keepers have access to the station's systems. But Theobald stayed at his side the entire time and could not have initiated the self-destruct protocol. Which means he did it before the report was filed, or maybe after, or... You dare suspect me of what happened? The one who is going out of his way to preserve what little there is left? By the God Emperor, you will keep these slanderous accusations to yourself. Enough lies. I'm certain you were the one behind the coup. I suppose it is time to remove my mask. Congratulations, you've got me. But did you really expect me to be sincere this entire time? To welcome you with open arms, an ally of Titsphany and her monster, the accursed child who had tormented the navigators of House Orselio for years? Don't make me laugh. You arrived to help her completely destroy our house, and I cannot let that happen. What are you babbling on about? I know nothing of this Titsphany or monster of any kind. You do not? In that case, accept my sincere apology for the deception and my earlier behavior. I had no intention of making an enemy of a von Valancius heir, nor of destroying the station that served as my home for many years. They left me no choice. You cannot even imagine what monster lurks in the upper chambers. An evil, a plague, a pestilence on our bloodline that seeks to destroy House Orselio from within. And Theobald and his followers just mindless fanatics serving this evil. Lady Cassia is a scion of a merciless tyrant, but it is not her relation to Titsphany that is terrifying. She is a monster whose power drives servants insane in mere turns. A cursed child who can kill a navigator from the Orselio bloodline with just a look. I alone managed to get close enough to her over the years. She lowered her guard and trusted me, and at long last I rid my house of the curse. This is the truth. All navigators are abominable mutants and monsters, so what? I may be mutant, and yet monsters may wear many a pleasant guise, but do not believe everything you see. Perhaps you're integrating yourself to me, hoping I'll let my guard down. I cannot change the past, and dare not hope you will ever trust me again, but I swear my words and my apology are genuine. Do you ever speak the truth? Pity. I was hoping to find an ally in you, but now you are merely delaying the sorrowful end of your story. Prepare to die.
And bow before me. Stand your ground.
I'm gonna move these guys to different parts.
Follow my lead. The weakness called to me.
Not a problem for me.
Take care of the servant.
All too easy.
As the Emperor... I'll do it.
There you go.
I'll pass.
Bro, I suck with this gun.
I must not falter. Follow my lead. Onward.
Okay, and then do
As
this.
the Emperor commands, I act.
Okay.
I know what is to come. Anything else? I'm not so sure. Was it you? Or... anything else?
Make it harder for her to hit so she doesn't die.
At your beck and call. It will be done.
And then,
At your back and one fewer target.
good. He's down. Don't gotta worry about psychic powers now. He killed his buddy.
Nothing I can't do.
Crap. Okay, I can't even shoot that. I can't shoot at all. I guess that counts as my shot.
Already done. Suits my purposes.
Indeed.
Okay. Nope.
Moving out. Follow my lead.
God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire in my heart. Doubt is for the weak. I'll do it.
Reload that gun. That's good enough.
Cover me.
Go over here.
Will do. Ah! What an unfortunate turn of fate. No can do.
Give you some marks. And forewarn you.
But of course.
Go.
My place is at the fore. It will be done.
Get rid of you, then switch to my shotgun.
I took care of this one.
There you go.
Follow my lead.
I didn't even know there's one still there.
Just a minor setback.
Not a problem. Nothing of value has been lost.
There you go, and then go to you. Okay. And we're done.
None shall stand in my way.
Nice.
We must act.
I'll get their stuff. And we got that hit chance and critical hit chance. And some stuff for that. That's for our new person and a stub revolver. So we got, ooh, we got a good amount of stuff. I still feel like I'm missing something, so I'll have to go look. But then we'll pick up the episode and we'll be done with this first main mission. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in
Unexpected result.
the next video. Have a nice day.